RYZIN, tell us what made you choose Teen Wolf.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. It really is a coming of age story when you really think about it. So it's, when he's a teenager, he's going through, all the different things that you go through in high school, bullying, not fitting in, all of those things. And then, of course, I think that in some way it's an analogy for puberty in a lot of ways. And so he's starting to have changes, whether with his voice or otherwise, and he thinks they're just hormonal or what have you, then ultimately finding out that he is in fact a wolf. It's absolutely amazing. And it really hit me at a time in my youth, in my childhood, where the effects, I'm a big sucker for practical effects when it comes to movies. Even today, if you can do a movie with practical effects, I think that you are leaps and bounds ahead of most of these that do like CGI and digital. So I had not seen like an American Werewolf of London or anything like that. So just watching that transformation of Michael J. Fox was absolutely epic to me. But overall, I think that it's amazing. I still bang out that soundtrack all the time, even though I don't think that there's one song on there that is actually a hit, except for they must have blown their entire budget on the Beach Boys song for the van surfing scene. But other than that, I think that the songs are well done. The casting was well done. And I actually know a lot of history on it, kind of useless knowledge, but
Michael J. Fox was once quoted as saying that Steven Spielberg's down the street making great movies, but he was filming Back to the Future beginning of it because he wasn't part of that. And I'm here playing a werewolf, right? Now, oddly enough, and not to jump on the sequel, but I'm a huge Jason Bateman fan.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Jason Bateman is great. That movie, not.
Just something about Bateman and anything he's in.
Yeah. So a couple of quick things just to piggyback on that. Boof's house, the girl that really liked Michael J. Fox, that is actually also Lorraine's house in Back to the Future.
Wow.
So they were actually filming on the same street, but Eric Stoltz was actually still playing Marty McFly. And that's to reference what you just said. Michael J. Fox was playing a wolf and was like, that's the kind of movie that I should be in, the sci-fi thriller by Steven Spielberg, not this crap that I'm doing. And then lo and behold, fast forward, obviously he ended up getting Marty McFly. So that's just one of those weird useless knowledge kind of
coincidences. How they were 8 weeks in Back to the Future before they fired Eric Stoltz, and then they brought him in. Now, do you know if they watched any dailies from this movie to get him into Back to the Future?
I mean, you could only imagine that they probably did, considering the characters are actually very similar. They didn't change the character around too much. So what you get at Marty McFly actually is very similar to what you get in Teen Wolf. And just because they were in similar sets, I could only imagine that is something that they were reviewing as they brought him in.
How old were you when you first saw this movie? Do you remember?
I was young, but I wasn't even born when it actually came out. I was born a year later, February of '86. But I must have probably seen it early on, maybe 5 or 6, at least to where I can remember it, because I do remember there actually were a couple of scenes that I look back on and it's kind of funny. But like when he growls, when he jumps out as the wolf the first time in the basketball game, that actually scared me a little bit. The growl and the snarl actually. And also the drama of him changing was actually, as I said, very well done. It sticks out a lot in my head. And that is one of those that I remember being around that age where it kind of scared me. But I could also tell it was a comedy. It wasn't really a horror. So it's, kind of a thing.
One of my favorite lines in the whole movie is when the old man is telling him he can't get the beer. And can't you get that through your thick skull? And he was like, give me a keg of beer. The eyes and everything. And I used to run around the playground and like kids just playing, and I would just be like, give me a keg of beer. As a kid, yes, that was the coolest thing, yes.
It was
That's so funny.
It was. So, and then
go back and watch the trailer. They must not have finished it until later. If you go back and watch the trailer, he sounds like a robot. Like, give me a keg of beer, and they tried to make it menacing.
They fixed that in post. Yeah.
What's pretty impressive about Teen Wolf is they filmed that entire movie in 21 days, and the only reason that they were able to do it within those 21 days is because Family Ties was on a little hiatus because I can't remember her name now, but one of the actresses was
Christine Bateman.
I don't know, but one of them was
it's Tina Yothers was the youngest one.
Whichever one of them was having a baby. That's all.
Justine Bateman.
Justine Bateman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was having a baby, so they had that little break. So when I look back on it now with the knowledge that I have, I think it is pretty impressive that they knocked all of that out in 21 days.
Oh yeah.
Especially I do these like little kind of indie, films for my professional wrestling, and the insane amount of time that it goes into making a 2-minute clip.
Yeah.
Is insanity compared to what
and
these
everything
guys
like
must
that.
do.
And major movie studios,
Absolutely.
any way that they can save money and production time and get as much as they can in the span of a day, they'll do it. So,
Are there any videos of you turning into a wolf? Any of your videos?
Not yet, but it's on my to-do list.
Okay, we should expect.
it's on the
Spoilers. I'm
to-do
sorry.
list.
That's my fault.
No. How do I do practical effects like that? I need to hire some kind of makeup artist that excels in that kind of thing. I wouldn't be opposed.
Yeah, AI might be. It might be more possible in the next 2 years with AI and everything like that.
Yeah, probably. But again, nothing beats a practical effect.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the
he's going to start like peeling his face away like while we're talking, and
that would have been.
This is AI. And still so near and dear to my heart that when I was 21 or maybe 22, and I just sent Mikey this, but I was Teen Wolf for Halloween.
Ooh.
And
I have the picture. It's going to be displayed when we air this episode. But yes,
perfect.
He was
so boom,
dressed as
you will
Teen
see
Wolf.
it, right?
right there, right here, right there.
One of those places.
Somewhere around here, you'll see it.
Right
But
down there.
I was absolutely. I wanted to do it my whole life, and again, going back to like, I was actually at an age where I could kind of put together these effects for myself, and I think I did an amazing job. That was all kind of like secondhand stuff, believe it or not, and so I think you'll find that is quite impressive. But that's how big of an impact that movie had on me, and the costume was good enough that it made $1,000 at the local bar
Wow.
in Colorado. So, yep, number one. I won first place that night. So.
What year was
And I
that?
think
You
that's
remember?
because it hit nostalgia with the audience as well. So I was playing to my audience that night. I had a basketball, took pictures with everybody. And so it really like, oh my gosh, like that's Teen Wolf. And
Yeah,
did
an
a hell of a
amazing
job.
co-host would have sent me that picture so I could have it and react to it, but I guess he was too busy or something. I don't know, but we
The only one that was you.
Ain't that the truth? So I think that's amazing though. That just pop culture in general.
I'm excited for Will to see the actual costume and stuff. But yeah, overall, just an amazing film. Even though Michael J. Fox himself doesn't really like it. So
Well,
No,
I'm
he
going to
does
text
not.
it to you right now.
All right, text me right now. And I'm going to need the editor to act like I'm surprised when I see this, right? Well, I will be surprised, but let's see here.
badass.
All right, let's see here. Oh shit.
That's like next
I can
level.
See that is next. I can see why you won.
isn't that crazy? I have to pull it up for myself so that I know what we're kind of talking about. But yeah, so all of that, as I said, was basically bought secondhand, except for the nose and the earpiece. The sleeves are actually a thrift store bought brown fur coat. Now, I will say that I got the jersey and the shorts made by the guy who was making my wrestling gear at the time. So he actually sewed them on real quick for
That's
me.
amazing.
But everything else, from even the bottom part and the top part, are both like an Amish beard that I bought at the thrift store that I just glued with spirit gum here and here back, and then used the yellow bandana, or the yellow sweatband.
Well done.
The arms are what really got me because, like, you just don't realize how real it is. Like, you keep looking at different parts. Yes, that might be one of the most badass Halloween costumes I've ever seen. Good for you. Well done.
Thank you. And as I said, on a complete budget, I had no money in my early 20s. So
What do you think you spent on that?
Less than 100 guaranteed. Probably 50, 60, and that would even be pushing it, to be completely honest with you.
And you won $1,000 prize.
You won, yeah.
Thankfully, and I paid for rent that month, and then I got evicted the next. So I was,